Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you guys an update on my weight gain experiment, and spoiler alert, it worked. So I do want to explain what has been going on since I've gotten my RMR tested, which is my resting metabolic rate. I was burning 1,700 calories at rest by not doing anything, and I was prescribed to eat 1,400 calories a day on average, which would absolutely starve my body and be the reason why I completely stalled out on my weight loss for 2 months. I decided against everyone's recommendations to jump my average calories up from about 1,500 to 1,900, which is 200 calories above what I burn at rest, to see if that would kind of jumpstart anything. For a while, I was definitely tracking my macros and my calories, and I did see a little bit of weight loss on the scale, but I can't really give an accurate representation of what was happening because very shortly after, I did decide that the best thing for me at the time would be to intuitively eat. We ate out a lot, and we had unplanned meals, and we had just appointments and things going on to the point where it just wasn't really feasible for me to just take control of that. I was tracking my weight and even tracking my body fat and measurements. On average, I'm only 4 pounds above what my low weight was when I finished counting macros at that really low level. Intuitively eating, going out to eat maybe even once a day, and only gaining 4 pounds was a victory in my book. Obviously, those 4 pounds, a lot of them as body fat, and it does show up a lot quicker and a lot more noticeable than any other kind of gain. So I do feel a little bigger, feel a little fluffier, my clothes are a little bit tighter, but it's not so much of a huge difference that I am hating myself at this point, which is huge for me mentally. There's a lot of talk about whether you should be counting calories or macros for the rest of your life, and for me it's more of a thing where I use it as a tool in times of my life where I want to have that control and accomplishment. There are other times where counting macros are a complete distraction and they are completely ruining my life, and those are the times that I don't want to be on a diet plan. There's a quote that I've seen on Instagram a lot, and it's, I believe, something like, don't miss out on 90% of your life to weigh 5% less. Overall, life comes first. Turning 30 right now, I'm 31 and a half, maybe a little bit more. Turning that age, my body image is definitely changed a lot for the better, in the fact that I guess fucks are just like, I am concerned, you know, with the way I look, just like any girl would be, but it's not extreme like it used to be. With that said, I actually have like 6 or 8 weeks ahead of me where I can control my diet, and I have been craving purpose and accomplishment. So I've decided that I am going to go on a 6 to 8 week mini cut with a calorie and macro plan that I have designed for myself. The calories and macros that I am giving myself are 100% based on my RMR test. I, for my height and my weight and my age, burn on average 200 or 300 more calories than somebody else with the same exact height, weight, age. 300, a plus or minus of 300 calories per day over time could be the difference between gaining a lot of weight, losing a lot of weight, or completely starving your body for what it needs. I think it's so important that you get yourself a test so that somebody is not on a computer trying to figure out your macros. I believe that it's a good start for people just beginning the process, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty and you've been doing it for a while, or something's not changing, or something just doesn't feel right, like my gut instinct that happened to me, get yourself tested, because everybody's different. You probably are sick of everybody saying that, but it's so true, and it just came much more clear to me when I got an official RMR test, where they were literally measuring the oxygen that I was taking in and taking out to come up with that number. So all of that to say, your calories and macros should be based on your individual needs, and if you do want actual help with that, search RMR testing in your area, and there's a couple of different ways that you can do it, and get your numbers from there if you're really serious about it, or if you are concerned about over or under eating. So I'm going to take an extra flexible dieting approach to this next 6 to 8 weeks. And that's why I'm even saying 6 to 8 weeks, because there are going to be probably about 2 of those weeks where we won't have our stuff. We probably won't be living on our apartment, when we won't even have internet, and definitely won't have any kitchen stuff. And I'm not sure how life is going to go, and I'm not sure how much of a priority or how much I'm going to be able to work out without a car. This is going to be closer as we get up to our moving point, but for now, extra flexible dieting approach means that I will be giving myself a set of numbers to follow on days that I weight train and on days that I don't weight train. And in between those times, if there is an event going on, or a going away dinner that we have, or a time out with friends, or any time that we go out on our boat and decide to have fun, or being out all day with millions of appointments and stuff that we have to do for the move, or we're living in a hotel, then I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to be completely strict about tracking, and I'm just gonna be like mental about it. I'm just gonna go with my gut on it. I know now that I can trust myself, and I also know now that it's not going to, you know, cause a huge blowout in weight gain if I don't let it, which I just didn't do, and there's no reason for me not. If I can make it a priority now and give myself a little bit of a buffer, then it will make me much more happier going into this as you know, a little bit leaner, a little bit stronger, and just overall better in my fitness and health and attitude. I'm going to start this out by having an average, once again, of 1900 calories a day, and I'm going to kind of hoard the more calories overall on the days that I weight train and less calories on the days that I don't. So this works out to be 2090 calories on weight training days, 125 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, and 285 carbs per day, which seems like a lot, and like it's like breathtaking for anybody that has been in a fitness competition or is in competition prep, especially like the fact that the protein is low and the carbs are high, and so is the fat. But one of the problems that I was having was that the protein was too high and the carbs were too low and the fat was too low. So I don't understand, if I'm not specifically in competition prep or competing for anything, why I can't adjust it to something that I can stick to. So I'm going to start with that and see what happens. Yeah, I definitely lessened my protein also because I really want to consume less animal products. I think a big problem I was having with consuming that much protein, the only way I was able to hit my numbers was eating a lot of like meat, and I'm not like crazy activist vegan or anything like that, but I definitely don't enjoy having that much animal protein in my diet, so this will definitely cut down on it a lot. Non-training day macros are 1750, which is probably also breathtaking for anybody in competing, because that is probably something that they start bulking with. Again, 125 protein on those days, 50 grams of fat, and 200 carbs. I'm giving myself a lot of room to start with so that when I do cut back, it's not like a drastic change and I'm not like starving myself, which is so important. People start out so low from the very beginning. Those calories, I'm going to stick to those calories whether I lose weight or whether I gain weight, because I know myself enough to know now that I need 2 weeks to see if anything is changing before I make a change. And when that 2 weeks is up and I give myself my progress pictures and my measurements and all of that, if I feel like I'm not losing anymore, then I'm only going to drop by 100 calories per day on average. And then the next 2 weeks, we'll see what happens there. And yes, after all is said and done, when the 6 to 8 weeks are over, I will be consuming more calories, but I will also have a better foundation and want to keep things going, just like I have, you know, in the beginning of the year when I first hired a macro coach. There was positives to it. Workouts, I'm going to keep very simple. I was weight training 4 to 5 times a week at the gym on base, and I just got so bored. Not of working out, not of lifting, but just being in that place, being in that space, trying to figure out when was the best time that it wasn't busy. And it's just like, if I go there too many times during the week, then I just don't want to go at all. So I gave myself 3 days. 3 days of hard weight training, and that is going to be split up between one workout of chest, back, and shoulders, very heavy lifting on those days, plus 20 minutes of cardio after that on the stair mill. Gym cardio is just, YouTube gets me through. The next weight training workout is going to be legs. So I do squats, deadlifts, and then accessory work with quads and hamstrings and a little bit of glute work. And then after that, I don't do 20 minutes of cardio, and I foam roll for about 10 minutes to kind of help let my legs recover. The next training session will be arms, glutes, and abs. So basically, I'm just going back in on the smaller muscles and focusing on them a little bit, giving the arms a little bit of a workout, and then following that with another 20 minutes of cardio. And then there will be one day a week where I do cardio outside, whether that be a hike, whether that be walking around in my neighborhood. I am going to lay everything out on the table for you now. I am going to let you know my height, my weight, my measurements, and I'm going to play this video of my physique update. Yeah, I definitely gained a little bit of body fat within that 4 pounds, but like I said, I don't really hate myself for it, especially since I feel like it was going to be a lot worse and that I would look a lot worse. But I mean, the more I beat myself up, the more I punish myself when it comes to food and eating, and that's not the way. So I am 5'5". My weight at the very start of this was 153.6, and I will tell you already that it's been about 4 days and it's jumped around from 153 to 154 to almost 156. I have to go by average weight because you just never know what is going on in your body, and the scale is not a direct measure. My waist is 28 inches and a quarter at the smallest part. The largest part is 34.25. My hips are 39.75, big surprise there. My right thigh is 24.5 inches and my left thigh is 24.25 inches. That is my update and my plans for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do a full day of eating on higher calorie, a full day of eating on lower calorie, or if there's any other suggestions or questions you might have. I also encourage you to check out my vlog channel. Me and my husband have been making 3 videos a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week for about 2 months now, and we're going to keep that going. So that's a little bit more personal side of my life. So make sure you check out Skinner TV. The link is in the description below, and it's also in the eye in the sky here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking along, and I will see you in the next one.